Welcome back to my channel English Harbinger. இன்னைக்கு என்ன பார்க்க போகிறோம் அப்படின்னா பிஜிடிஆர்பி இங்கிலீஷ் எக்ஸாமினேஷனில் நம்மளோட சிலபஸில் இருக்கிற ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டண்ட்டான டாபிக் லிட்ரரி கிரிட்டிசிசம். அதில் இருக்கிற வெரி இம்பார்ட்டண்ட் டாபிக் தட் இஸ் ஜான் ட்ரைடன்ஸ் an essay of dramatic poesy. அதை தான் பார்க்க போகிறோம். அதுவும் I'm not going to present this as a lecture format. If it is in a lecture format, you people couldn't listen that and couldn't observe that easily. So I have presented this in an easiest manner. And let me begin. It's very important topic and much more questions. Many questions were asked and the details about those questions also I have presented. What are all the questions were asked, the previous year questions, that also I have analyzed at last. Okay, let me begin the session. An essay of dramatic poesy is written by John Dryden. And the very important one, you may note down. I am going to explain in a very slow manner only. You could easily note down that. So, John Dryden was called the father of English literary criticism. And Johnson, Dr. Johnson called John Dryden the father of English criticism. So there are two questions I have discussed here, the very important questions. First one is John Dryden was called as father of English literary criticism, and Johnson called John Dryden father of English criticism. And next one, Dryden has presented this essay in a dramatic dialogue format. Okay, this essay is presented, even though it is an essay, it is presented in the manner of a dialogue, that too dramatic dialogue format. The dialogue has been taken among four characters. Four characters are much important. Those characters, the dialogue has been happened among those four characters only. The four important characters are Eugenius, Critias, Lycidius and Neander. And these four characters analyzed 5 issues in this essay. So keep these things in mind. This essay is in dramatic dialogue format and 4 characters are mentioned here: Eugenius, Critias, Lycidius and Neander. Those 4 characters discussed 5 issues. And this essay and also John Dryden's period was called neoclassical period. So this is called, this particular essay comes under the category neoclassical criticism. So that also should be kept in mind. Next one, this essay was probably written during the plague year of 1666. So keep this in mind. This essay was written in the plague year of 1666 but published in the year 1668. So it was written in the year of 1666 but published in the year of 1668. And in presenting his argument, Dryden takes up the subject that Philip Sidney had set forth in his Defense of Poesy in 1580. That means Philip Sidney has written his Defense of Poesy in the year of 1580 and Dryden has taken that concept only for his essay. And next one, let us enter into the dramatic dialogue and essay of dramatic poesy. Okay. This essay has been this essay. How did Dryden begin this essay? In the sense, he is going to begin this essay. It is going to be conducted as a dramatic dialogue. So there were 4 characters. Those 4 characters were traveling by a boat to see a battle which was held between England and Netherlands. Okay, so the 4 of them are traveling by a boat to see the battle. And this conversation is there. Those 4 people, they are going to conduct that conversation. The conversation is going to be about modern literature. This also should be kept in mind. And the beginning sentence of the essay, that also should be kept in mind. A battle is going on between England and the Netherlands. This is the beginning sentence of the essay. Once again I repeat, a battle is going on between England and the Netherlands. And next one, Critus only opens the discussion. The discussion is going to be begin. And who is going to begin the conversation? Critus only going to begin the discussion. And these 4 people, how do they categorize? In the sense, first, Critus favors classical drama. So keep this in mind. See, you just keep these things in mind. Certain clues, whenever you couldn't keep the exact explanation in mind, keep some hint or examples in mind. That will definitely much more helpful for you. So here, see, keep this in mind. Critus favors classical drama. Classical drama means, yes, of course, Aristotle, his drama. Aristotle in his drama, he talks about what drama. Aristotle, what did he stress in the sense? Drama is imitation of life. So he says that both classical and neoclassical favor roles and unities. Unities refers to the 3 unities: time, place and action. What did Critus say? In the sense, he stressed that both classical and neoclassical favor rules and unities. So Critus favors classical drama. So this is important. And according to Critus, modern dramatists are just shadows of the classical dramatist. This is his view. Okay, according to him, classical drama is the best, and that modern dramatists, they are just the shadows of the elders. That's all. That is the opinion of Critus. And he has given an example of an Elizabethan dramatist. Critus talked about an Elizabethan dramatist, Ben Jonson. So this is an important question. Keep this in mind. Critus talked about an Elizabethan dramatist, Ben Jonson. And what did he tell about Ben Jonson? In the sense, Ben Jonson borrowed from classics and felt proud to call himself modern Horace. So this is too important. See here, he just tells that his concept is what? The modern dramatists are just the shadows of the elders. This is his view. For that he has given an example. The example is Ben Jonson, the Elizabethan dramatist Ben Jonson. What did he say in the sense? Ben Jonson borrowed from classics. Okay, and he felt proud to call himself modern Horace. Modern Horace. Ben Jonson, modern Horace. Important. Too important. Keep these things in mind. And next, what else that Critus stressed, that I am going to explain. Critus objects to rhyme in plays. Okay, so this one should be kept. What did he favor? That we talked about. Now, what did he object? He objects rhyme in play. In the plays, in dramas, the rhyme is what not been accepted by Critus. He objects to rhyme in plays. Since no man without premeditation speaks in rhyme, neither ought he to do it on the stage. This is the opinion of Critus. This means what? In no need of elaborate explanation. This means that he objects what? Rhyme. Once again, I repeat that quotation of Critus. Since no man without premeditation speaks in rhyme, neither ought he to do it on the stage. He cites Aristotle as saying that it is best to write tragedy in that kind of verse, which is nearest prose, as a justification for banishing rhyme from drama in favor of blank verse. So it means what? You keep these things in mind. Critus favors blank verse, but he objects rhymes in drama. So this should be kept in mind. Okay, he didn't accept rhymes in plays. Instead, he supported and he favored blank verse. And he stressed that the blank verse is just nearest nature. He called the blank verse as nearest nature. NN. Keep this in mind. Okay, blank verse, nearest nature. Critus called blank verse as nearest nature. Nearest nature. Next, we are going to discuss about the next character. Okay, so the four conversation held among four people, the first one, Critus's opinion, we have concluded. That is over. He opens the discussion. He favors classical drama, and he said that the modern dramatists are just what? The shadows of the elders. And next he favors what? Blank verse, but he objects the rhyme and plays. So this is the concept of Critus. Next we are going to talk about the conversation of Eugenius. Eugenius favors modern dramatists. He favors modern dramatists. He criticizes the faults of classical playwrights. Okay, so Eugenius favors modern dramatists. Instead, he criticizes the faults of classical playwrights. Classical drama is not divided into acts and also lacks originality. This is the concept of Eugenius. He tells that the classical drama is not divided into acts. Okay, he criticizes the classical drama like this. The classical drama is not been divided into acts. Next one is the classical drama lacks originality. So this is the concept of Eugenius. And he just stressed that the classical drama disregard poetic justice. Likewise, he talks about that. He criticizes the classical drama that instead of punishing the vice and rewarding the virtue, they have often shown prosperous wickedness and an unhappy devotion. So likewise, he criticizes. He said that always we have to punish the vice and reward the virtue, but the classical drama is just opposite to that. This is his argument. He said that they have shown prosperous wickedness and unhappy devotion. Next, what did he say in the sense? The classical drama also lacks affection. This is his next criticism. And he says that the heroes of Homer were lovers of appetite and food, etc. This is another criticism, okay, of Eugenius. What did he say in the sense? The heroes of Homer were just lovers of appetite and food, while the modern characters of French drama gave up everything, sleep, water, food, everything for the sake of love. This is his next opinion. He compares the old heroes, the Homer's heroes, and the modern characters of French drama. He stressed that the heroes of Homer were lovers of appetite and food. Instead, modern characters are they just gave up everything, food, water, sleep, everything for the sake of love. So it shows that the classical drama lacks affection. So this is the argument of Eugenius. Yes, he favors modern dramatist. Instead, he criticizes the faults of classical playwrights. And what did he say in the sense? The classical drama is not divided into acts and it lacks its originality and it disregards poetic justice, and instead of punishing the wise and rewarding the virtue, these classical dramas shown prosperous wickedness and unhappy devotion. And next one, it lacks affection. So these are all the arguments of Eugenius. Okay, and keep another one important thing in mind. Eugenius means well born. Okay, so the meaning of the word Eugenius is what? Well born. And he favors moderns over the ancients. Okay. Next, we are going to talk about the third character, Lycidius. Okay, Lycidius argues that French drama is superior to English drama. Okay, he talks that French drama is superior to English drama. And basing this opinion of the French writers' close adherence to the classical separation of comedy and tragedy. See here, he argues that French drama is superior to English drama. So keep this in concept in mind. And for Lycidius, okay, he just tells that, what did he tell about that English drama? See, keep this in mind. For Lycidius, no theatre in the world has anything so absurd as the English. He to criticize the English drama. His wordings, this is his wording. What word he used in the conversation that is given. Just keep this in mind. No theatre in the world has anything so absurd as the English. And next he criticizes the tragic comedy concept of English drama also. Okay, tragic comedy, in 2 hours and a half we run through all the fits of bedlam. That means what? He criticizes the concept, the concept of English dramatist, tragic comedy also. Okay, tragic comedy also. It means what? French writers, they have this, they haven't supported this the tragic comedy. Instead, English favors the tragic comedy. So he criticizes that. Okay, so Lycidius argues French drama is superior to English drama. So this should be kept in mind. And one more, this wording is also asked often. No theatre in the world has anything so absurd as the English. So this is very important, wording of Lycidius in the conversation. And next, what did he stress? He criticizes the tragic comedy concept of the English drama. Instead, he stressed that the French dramatists never mix tragedy and comedy. This is his opinion. Okay, they never mix. The French dramatists never mix tragedy and comedy, but instead the classical dramatist, they have the concept of tragic comedy. So that he criticized. Okay, next we are entering into the next character, that is Neander, the very important character of the conversation. So Neander represents John Dryden himself. So this is the very repeated question in the previous year question papers. So what is that? Neander in the conversation represents John Dryden himself. Okay, Neander favors the moderns but does not disparage the ancients. So keep this in mind. He favors the moderns also. At the same time, he didn't criticize the ancients also. He also favors English drama and has some critical things to say of French drama. Keep this in mind. He favors English drama, but he criticized the French drama. And he stressed that those beauties of the French drama, French poesy, are such as will raise perfection higher where it is, but are not sufficient to give it where it is not. So that means what? They are indeed the beauties of a statue, but not of a man. So this is the main concept of Neander. What did he stress in the sense? The French drama, it is full of beauty, that he agrees. Okay, but he criticized that the beauty of the French drama is just like the beauty of a statue, not like the beauty of a human. Okay, so that is his concept. Where it is necessary, it is not at all. But what is necessary, that is not at all being expressed by the French drama. It favors only the beauty. Okay, it doesn't give importance to the matter at all. That is the concept of Dryden. He stressed that the beauties of a statue. The Neander's conversation, the very important aspect of the conversation, and the very important question, the previous year question paper analysis, the important questions which were asked from this essay of dramatic poesy, and the short summary of this essay. All those things I have presented in the next video. As this video extends for a long time, I have just stopped that and I have continued in the next video. So it will be very much useful for you, because Neander's concept is very important in this essay. So that I have clearly explained, as well as the question paper analysis also. So the question paper analysis, as well as the important questions and important the short summary of this essay, and that Neander's conversation, all those things I have presented in the next video. So keep watching. It will be much more helpful for you, and it will be too helpful. So subscribe my channel and support me. Thank you.